guys, welcome back to PJ's. In this video I'd like to share with you an experience I encountered when I simply just wanted to take my thermostat out of my water pump just for checking. This was while it was on the car, and to cut a long story short, I ended up having to replace the water pump. My water pump was due for replacement, but I was just trying to check on my thermostat, and in doing so, as you know, you got to loosen the housing with two bolts here, and I managed to get the one bolt out, but unfortunately snapped the head of the other bolt, as you can see here. Very unfortunate. I tried and I tried to get it off, but it wouldn't come off. Now this is what the bolt looks like. There's two of them. As you see, the other one broke off. There you can see that's a closer view of that little bit sticking out there. And you remember this was on the car, so it was very difficult for me to work on it and to get it out. And even trying to use a vice grip, I couldn't get that piece out. And eventually I decided, look, it's time for a new pump. But when I took off the pump, as you can see, here's the old pump. Look at the state of the pump. Look at the holes digging one of the pipes. And I was not aware of that. So maybe that little piece not wanting to come out was actually a blessing in disguise. Therefore I opted to just get a new pump, which I fitted there. Sorry, now I didn't film the actual replacement, but basically these pumps, they go on quite easily. It's just with 4 bolts over there. You can see it's just 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just be very careful with those bolts. You know, these bolts, I was so paranoid after that I thought I was going to snap one of them too, and I really was very careful with it. And on closer inspection of the actual flange too, I noticed that it was also had its days. It was cracked over there. You can see this piece just came apart. So yes, I think this was a blessing in disguise, that little 10mm bolt didn't want to come out. It forced me to have a look at all the other components on the cooling system. And I also did a check on all my other hoses, which I replaced. I replaced 1 and 2, like this one here, and I also replaced this flange which sits on the side of the cylinder head. That also looked a bit dicey, so I replaced that. That's basically what I replaced: the water pump, the thermostat housing, and also the flange that goes on the side of the cylinder head. You can see with the new water pump in, everything looks much neater. I also replaced the filler bottle, as you can see over there. It's been on the car quite a while. So these are all things that were due, but I put it off, and it was just because of that bolt that got stuck in the water pump that caused me now to go through this whole process. I also took the liberty to remove the thermal switch to check on it. There was corrosion and there was rust there, and also when I checked on these wires here, there was lots of corrosion on here, so I'm very glad that I actually went through that process. Also I had a look at this sensor over here. I took off this wire and I unscrewed that with I think it's a 14mm, and I also checked for rust and corrosion. I just cleared out all that pathways. Before I'm going to actually fill up with the required coolant, I'm running water for a day or two, mixed with a little bit of vinegar, just so that I can clean out the system of all the rust. Look, this is an old car, so obviously it's not clear the water, so I'm trying to get it as clear as possible by running the vinegar, and I will then proceed to do the coolant. Now what has this taught me, and what I would like to bring across to you, is your water pump, don't leave it on for too long. Look, I may have left on mine too long, because what I've done in the past is I've just replaced this side. A lot of you guys will know that most of the time you just replace this side and you reuse this side. But I would say don't reuse this side for too many years, because as you can see here, what actually happens to the pipe, holes start developing in there and it starts rusting, and your bolts fail to come out and you break off heads. So I would say, if you're going to do a half, rather do it once, not more than twice, and then you would rather replace the full pump, because just doing a routine check on your thermostat, you'll end up on the side of the road and you'll have to go through the whole process of changing a pump. So yes, just a little bit of advice from me: don't let this pump on your car too long. That's really bad, eh? I didn't realize that it was that bad. Anyway, thank you 10mm bolt for not wanting to come out. You forced me to take out the whole pump. Guys, that's just a few tips on the water pump and my experience. I hope that what I've shared with you will help you and give you a bit of insight as to what to check also on your cooling system as we're heading for warmer seasons. Thanks for watching, guys.